It is a town that is full of stars and inspiring performances. Nashville, Tennessee. This week, center stage to the skating world. As we welcome you inside Nashville Arena to our coverage of the State Farm U.S. Figure Skating Championships. Along with Leslie Visser, Brian Boitano, and Dick Button, I'm Terry Gannon. You're watching the men's short program. And on the ice first is 24-year-old Shepard Clark of Atlanta, competing in his 8th Nationals.
Shepard's had some really rough practices, especially with this upcoming combination jump in the practices. So he really needs to buckle down and think technical. And here it goes.
You could see that right from the start. He turned the revolution on the ice before he took off in the air. You can't do that. You know, he has a very interesting physique on the ice. He looks tremendously tall. He's actually only 5'10" and weighs 160 pounds, but he looks like he's well over 6 feet. The proportions are really extraordinary.
And you know what I really like about him is he's very fast, and he covers a lot of the ice, faster than most of the men.
And he's no rookie. He is a guy who's been around for a while. This is his 8th trip to the Nationals. Finished 6th a year ago. He's had a series of injuries in the early 90s especially, which kept him off the ice for a while.
See, that's a good position, but if you look very carefully at the toe pick, he's riding right up on the toe. That's why there's so much scratching and scraping down there on the ice. Should have been more on the flat of the blade. It would have been a smoother spin.
Really rededicated himself to skating this year. Switch coaches, is now with Diane Agel and feels like he's ready to move up. And he's really pointing to these championships as the time when he would take it to the next level. At a 5th place finish in this event in 1995, that's as high as he's finished.
See again how he's up on that toe point. Here the back is rounded and the arms are sloppy, the hands are sloppy. They're better there. It's like everything is very frantic. Everything is very busy. There's nothing relaxed there. But he certainly has a big presence on the ice.
You speak of presence, that's what translated well, I guess, to the audience, because he got a big hand as that program finished. The short program here worth 1/3 of the overall score. And the performance by Shepard Clark of Atlanta. He walks over. There's his coach, Diane Agel, his new coach. He's made a switch this year. Have a seat and wait for his marks. There'll be 2 sets of marks, one for required elements, one for presentation.
Now look at this triple axel. Watch the body right there. If you can just pull that a little bit further on the slow motion, right a little bit further, and stop right there. Now look before he's taking off. Number one, the foot is already turned. He's going this way, but the foot is turned this way. That means that he will not be able to get enough, well, he certainly has enough height, but look at how the body is off angle in the air because he was so turned, and that's why he fell.
It's an interesting guy. He's got a lot of other passions, one of which is jewelry. He's a jewelry designer. He used to take his mother's jewelry apart as a kid, put it back together. I asked him this week how thrilled she was about that when he was young, and he said, well, he just never touched her diamond ring. He knew to stay away from that. Hasn't been able to take it to that next level and get on the podium, though, at the Nationals. The required element marks 4.8 up to 5.1.
5.0 and 4.9. And it is marked for presentation.
And marks for presentation are much higher, 5.3 up to 5.5 for Shepard Clark, the first skater of the evening.
5.4, 5.3, 5.5, and 5.3.